Greetings and welcome to Southern Yankee Homestead. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. So today, well, it's kind of a filler video. I'll explain a little bit more as I get into it. But a month or two ago, I think some of you might have seen the video on working on the Husqvarna GT52XLS. Had to look at it. At that time, I knew the mower blades needed to be replaced. Also, the baffle needed to be replaced for the mower deck. So we're going to be specifically working on the mower deck today. With that, I guess I need to get the front end lifted up, because the unfortunate thing about this is this mower deck, even though it has a 6, that's kind of a number and not inches. So it sits very low to the ground. Is what it is. So one of the reasons why I'm replacing the blades right now is because when I turn, it's cutting very, very, very badly. And I'm sure once we get the blades out, you'll see why it's cutting very, very badly. Basically, I'm taking a corner and it's missing an entire strip, and then if it gets too heavy, it's missing an entire strip, and that would more than likely be why. And that's one of the good blades. This is what a new blade looks like. This is what our blade looks like. We have the... Yep. What I'm doing is I'm matching up those holes to make sure they match. But you can see just how much of this has been worn off. Technically, anyhow, that's how bad this is worn. See the black behind it? 2 of these are this way. So, and this one, as you can tell, it's on its way out. The end is that much thinner. I know it's hard to see in the camera, but is what it is. And these blades are a year old. I replaced these about the middle to the beginning of last season when I started mowing. The problem that we have here, this is literally just the sand that we pick up. This isn't mowing gravel or sticks, although I did mow some gravel and some sticks. But we have such a high sand content in this area that it literally just wears the blades out. Now, before we get into this, we're going to go ahead and remove this lower guard as well. Hopefully this will be a little bit easier this time, because I haven't damaged it since last time, I don't think. Just a lot of stuff in it. So let me go grab a wrench. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that this is kind of a filler video. Reason is, the last 2 weeks we've had some interesting stuff going on the homestead. So if you know what I'm talking about, don't say anything. It's personal. And if you don't know what I'm saying, just know that we had a busy couple weeks around the homestead. So I know the videos have kind of been here recently. Part of that is, like I said, we had a lot of stuff going on. But we're back to flies everywhere. And dear God, this deck is still filthy even after washing it. Stuff growing in here. Yeah, I'll probably edit that whole thing out. Now, coming up soon, we're going to be having some videos, some little different videos of some repairs we got to do around the homestead and some upgrades. So like the boy goats, we need to do some reconfiguration on their barn so that we don't have to have the full door open, and also so that we can open the door on the other side, get to the hay that's stored in the back of their barn. And if you can hear them in the background every now and then, I apologize. They're not happy. Oh, and in the last video I did on this mower, I had a question come up on parts. Apparently, a lot of the parts have been hard to find. You can't find the full tune-up kit for these right now. It's that whole post-COVID thing going on. It is what it is. But someone contacted us about the part numbers we used for that. Well, that's something I hadn't thought of when I did the video. So in this video, if you look down in the description, there will be a list of part numbers that you can search for what I'm installing on this today. These part numbers might be Husqvarna, or like the blades, they're Oregon. So I'll list the Husqvarna part numbers, but I'll also list the Oregon alternates. So if you need new blades, you can probably do a Google search real quick and find the part numbers you're looking for. This one's being a pain in the butt. There we go. Alright. I did the best I could. We'll keep this for a spare in case we need it, but we're going to go ahead and install the new one in here after we get some of this stuff cleaned out. Because that one pushed right through. So. Yes, I know this would be much easier on a lift, but I don't have one. So we make do with what we have. What we have is not a lift. So what we do is we make do with what we do have. Which again, is not a lift. There. Now then, remember, the sharp edge goes down. You can install these like this, in which case you're not cutting the grass very good. So pay attention to which way your blades are going. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. If you see right there, you have those little tabs. Well, those little tabs line up with these. If you're not careful, you can, well, didn't mean to do that. You can tighten the blade down like this, in which case you're just using the pressure of the bolt to hold these in. Eventually it will wear it out. You want them to set like that. Yes, I did wash the deck before I did this. You can actually see up here, but those blades were so worn it didn't matter. So we'll end up having to rewash this blade, or this deck, once we put the new blades on. Get some of this other crap out of here. Now, some people, yeah, I'm laying on the garage floor. It's okay. I'm already dirty. So, some people would put this on a lift and then crank up the impact and impact these on there. Speaking from experience, that's the wrong thing to do. You're gonna have to pull the mower blades off eventually, if not sooner than later. And if you impact them on after you run the mower through them a couple times, they're going to get gunked up, and you are going to have a royal pain in the butt getting those off unless you use an impact. And in the process, you might damage the spindle. So I recommend going just keeping it hand tight. Use a hand wrench, tighten it down. Don't over torque it. Trust me, don't over torque it. Anyhow, I think I'm done with this. Obviously, the old mower blades, they're going to go in the trash, or more specifically, they're going to go in the recycling bin. They are, well, unless I can find a different use for them, they're beyond their lifespan. So they're going to go to the metal recycler. I'm hard on equipment, so I'll be keeping the baffle for when I break the other baffle or when I bend the other baffle. It's just the nature of the beast. It's who I am. I'm believe in things should be functional over pretty. So I run the equipment to its max and probably beyond it sometimes, and I have a tendency to break stuff. So I know it's a short video, but as I said, we've been kind of tied up here in the last couple weeks. Nothing that we're going to be putting on video, nothing that we videoed, nothing we're going to talk about. But we got a little bit more spare time now, so I'm hoping that I can get into some of these other repair projects that I need to do and get a little bit more content out. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, leave a comment. Those things help us. It helps the channel grow. It's good for YouTube, whatever. So until the next time, hope you enjoyed the video. Bye. That's why it's good that I'm facile with a wrench. Facile? Facile? Probably ought to use a word that I know the proper pronunciation for it.